I hope that one day, humanity can gaze at the real night sky, far beyond the reaches of the Arc. With the second anniversary of NIKKE's livestream, we were given a lot of new characters, skins, and gameplay to look forward to. Above all, for me personally, it was the reveal of not only Cinderella as our next major unit, but the fact that NIKKE unveiled each and every member of her squad, Old Tales. Keep in mind, this event is said to be between Red Ash and Overzone, but instead, I feel it begins running alongside the Red Ash event, and ends with the gap between Red Ash and Overzone. Old Tales is the second generation Grimm's models that were created after the Goddess Squad. Their main objective was to act as support to end the war once and for all on the surface. Contrary to the information given in Red Ash, the anniversary livestream describes the second generation models to be superior to Goddess. If the power scaling stated here includes Lilywise is currently unknown, but regardless, these models were meant to be the final push to end the war, to storm the space elevator, and take the fight directly to the Queen. A Legend Specialist has spent countless hours using Goddess as molds, crafting the squad Old Tales. One thing we were given in addition was the inclusion of each of their names, which confirms the continuation of the Brothers of Grimm's fairy tales as their moniker. Even before this announcement, the names of some of these characters were given to us by Cinderella in an interlude mission following chapter 32. However, her memory was too shoddy to fully recollect all of her old allies she used to fight alongside. This time though, we can put names to faces, and there's a lot to unearth in the process. One interesting addition to this trailer was the inclusion of the fight sequence that took place during Red Ash. Before Goddess could intercept and save the second generation Grimm's models, Old Tale had engaged in a battle with the Raptures, entirely on their own. It would appear that the fight not only took place in the Elysian lab, but also in close proximity to the space elevator. Surprisingly, unlike the analysis Goddess came to when uncovering the Elysian massacre, it appeared that Old Tale went down swinging. In the preview we can see all but one member of Old Tale present: Hansel, Gretel, Little Mermaid, Cinderella, and Abe, the one we suspect to be the spearhead of the second generation Grimm's models. Each one of them are engaged in combat. However, where is the last member of Old Tale? Where is Red Shoe? As we know from Red Ash, one NIKKE was found when stumbling into the lab. This NIKKE had been fused with Rapture parts in a first attempt of NIKKE fusing. Now, I'm not saying this with 100% certainty, but this could have very well been Red Shoe. It's obvious from the trailer that the fight was taken far beyond the reaches of the research lab, and it is very possible that Red Shoe was the first of Old Tale to fall during the attack. Before we continue any further, there is high speculation as to the timeline of this event, and I am fully aware that this could have been taking place after Red Ash, after Cinderella, or Anachiro rather, was defeated by Goddess. But to entertain my own theory here, we're going alongside the timeline running alongside Red Ash, ending with Anachiro being experimented on, in between Red Ash and the events of Overzone. As the trailer continues, we see that Cinderella is the only one remaining. Looking to the sky, she propels forward to what I only suspect to be a direct challenge to the Queen. Through the second anniversary livestream, it's also blatantly stated that Cinderella had a chance of defeating the Rapture Queen. A crazy statement to consider after all the carnage she's brought into the world of NIKKE. Cinderella, just like Old Tale, went down fighting, using every ounce of her strength to carry out the legacy of Goddess, to take down the evil that had been oppressing humanity for years. Instead, Anachiro fell to the Queen, and became the thing she hated the most. After the events of chapter 32, the side stories, and now the inclusion of this chapter, I find it very exciting that we'll be able to fully dive into the lore of Old Tale and their role in the overall story. There's high speculation that the remaining 4 members are the 4 beasts or other heretics present in the game. Honestly, it's too convoluted for me to say for certain at this point, but rest assured, as we get more information through playing these events, I'll break it down for you all as best as I can. Moving forward, there's one more piece of information we need to digest. The introduction of Abe, the supposed researcher of this project. Abe may highly resemble Pine, but unfortunately, I doubt it's her. Instead, she's most likely Grave, the Nikke who's been lugging around Cinderella for nearly a century. It's stated in Nikke's lore, both in the Lost Relics and Random Encounters, that mass production Nikkes were solidified on models after meticulous attempts were made by the big three CEOs. And it just so happens that Abe fits the bill exactly for Product 23. Grave even states herself in Chapter 32 that she was a mass production Nikke, one who was in charge of overseeing Cinderella some time ago. I personally think following the massacre in the Elysian Lab, efforts were made to salvage whatever they had left, thus turning Abe into Grave. Let's not forget that Cinderella was also retrieved following her defeat by Goddess in Red Ash. These memories, recounted by Grave, were a slew of experiments on both herself and Cinderella. In current day, Grave's memory is fuzzy and she can only recall fragments of the past. Though we don't know what experimentations occurred, we do know it left her face heavily scarred and disfigured. The Grave we see in the current trailer is a different version of Grave entirely. It's a body swap of the Grave that we meet in chapters 27 through 32. Confirmed in her voice line demo, she had a new body installed to replace her deteriorating old one. Speaking of Grave, there is one more thing I want to address, and that's the state of Grave's original body. Over time, older generation models of Nikkes have the ability to gain muscle mass and for their bodies to change due to circumstance. This is the reason Grave's body appears so toned and her build bulkier when we meet her in the story. Newer generations are equipped with high base strength, however, cannot gain any sort of muscle mass or fat. Not only do we get to see Old Tail in action with Abe leading them or assisting them in battle, but we also get to see the journey Grave took to keep Cinderella safe. Overall, words cannot describe how hyped I am for this anniversary, which is why I made this video as quick as I could the minute that I got back home. A lot will be unearthed this anniversary, and you best believe I will be there live to cover every single moment. If you'd like to come and join the discussion when I'm live, be sure to follow me over on Twitch. Link will be down in the description below. What are you most excited for once Nikke's second anniversary drops? I love to read your comments in the replies below. Thank you all for joining me, and happy 2 years, Commanders. It's been a great ride, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video. Jane.